January 28th, and here is another hive that I'd like to inspect in this nice and warm day. This hive is the last one, the last colony that survived from those 4 colonies that I purchased last year from commercial beekeepers, and it doesn't look like those bees are good survivors, but the only one colony that survived is this one. And I placed this colony in this horizontal hive. It's a modified Langstroth hive that I would like to make suitable for longer frames. They call jumbo deep frames, or jumbo Langstroth frames that are a little bit like almost 3 inches longer than the standard deep ones. For that I put a spacer. And so I open that. Oops. There is a spacer here and the bees are over here, but I open them, but I don't like how much activity I see. So let's just check and see what's going on in this hive. Okay, the bees are still here, but very few bees. I think they're struggling. So I'd like to get closer look. See some smoke and check how they're doing, and perhaps put some warm honey in there as well. That's not good. Very few bees, even worse than... All right, the less quantity than in a swarm, less quantity of bees. So see some smoke and check. So these are definitely struggling, and that's not so good. Let's check the honey supply. So I'll start from this outermost frame. And check it. It has some honey, not bad. And then the other frame has lots of honey. So it's basically a honey frame, this one. It has lots of honey. And then another one. So they have enough honey. The problem is they're not, maybe diseases, because what I found with the commercial, the bees bought from commercial beekeepers, from regular, either internet or just commercial beekeepers, apiarists, all those bees, they're not a very good survivors. So like this specific hive, the very much reduced quantity of bees, and now I can see all the bees are, lots of bees, they died. They're on the bottom of this box. So eventually I need to clean it. Maybe I clean it now, but let me get to the bees, to the colony first, and see what's going on. Some poop, which is also not a good sign. And this frame is completely empty, and it has some bees. I don't see a queen. They have some honey, and then they build this extra comb, which is fine. So don't see the queen here. You can remove this burr comb. They don't need it for now. They can build more if they survive. Now they open. Okay, they have brood. Some brood, but not much honey on this frame. And so if they have brood, they should have a queen. Yeah, here's the queen. I don't know if you can see her right here. Here she is. But the bees are dying and struggling. They don't have anything here. Okay, so we have to fix it somehow. So it's basically, even though they have honey, but they don't have honey on this frame. So we wanna put honey right next to the cluster. Problem is that this honey is cold, so we want to use nice and warm honey frame and put it right near the bees, right where the bees are. Let's check this one. It's a good frame, and then lots of honey over there. So let's do something about it. So check, like this one is a good honey frame. We can definitely put it closer, like this, right? So this frame, nice and full with honey. Now this is where they have a brood frame, and they have lots of bees. But this one is almost empty, no brood, just few bees. So they definitely need help. So what I'll do, I'll move this frame somewhere on the side. I also have to clean, like, can't imagine how many dead bees are over there. So I wanna do some cleanup because it doesn't help, like these bees, the dead bees that they have here. So it's essentially viruses. Look at that. So this is like, have more dead bees than the bees that are alive. So we need to help them for sure. So I remove the dead bees as much as I can. Like my estimate, at least 3,000 bees, maybe, no, at least 2,000 bees that died in this time over the winter. So I want to clean it, and the reason why I clean it, I should have taken some brush to clean them, but I think I'll remove most of them, because if I don't do it, these bees, they will get mold on them, and mold is not good. Then after I remove them, I put frame this honey. I have actually, I can move this for now. And then swipe these bees. Oh, there's some bees that are alive, so be careful. And then I put the frame with honey that is warm enough for the bees to take it. So these bees, they go on this side, they eventually will recombine. Then I take as much as I can these dead bees from here, drastically reduce the quantity of dead bees. I think I got almost all of them. Okay, we put this back, and now in my box I have a nice good frame, this honey frame that is totally warm. Is good for them. It feels warm, it has a nice foundation, so I stick this frame next to them, and I also want to scratch it slightly for the bees start to take it. And this honey is really nice and liquid, it's not crystallized or anything like that. That should be enough for them to survive, just like this. So I scratch it, maybe even a little bit more on this side. So I scratch it, now they can start taking it. Okay, you put this here, and then we assemble it. We put this back, then this is a good one even though it's cold, but eventually they will warm it up. So we want to put it back. And we want to put this one back as well. Let's say something like this. So the bees immediately started to get interested in that honey. So remember, if you do it like this, never put the cold frame next to the brood. Could probably put something on the other side, but I think should be sufficient. Let's check it again. If I move it here, yeah, maybe taking a little bit longer than I expected, but I think it will be much better for them. So I have another frame that has lots of honey on it and it's not too cold. I can put that one also in there. Hopefully they will take some of it. At least it will balance the temperature. All right, that's it. So this is good wax. I just take it for some meats and then I can cover them and possibly put some insulation. Okay, so this is horizontal hive. What's good about horizontal hive, I don't have to dig deep to get to the bees. I think I'll use some fabric and close with this hole, put some insulation in here. I have some moss that I can use and close all of these holes and make sure that the warm air is trapped in there, because not really many bees in this hive, which is not good. It would be good also to remove some of these frames, but and I also see the dead bees over there. Maybe I'll do it a little bit later. So for another inspection, put a division board here and just limit their space. That will help them to stay warmer. Or perhaps I can even do it now. All right, I found a couple of division boards that I can utilize. Here they are. And so we want to do is to pre-warm them, because you don't want to put anything cold. So I'm just pre-warming them, but at the same time, if any spores like bacteria or fungus is on this division boards, it all will be killed, even insects. So we want to always do something like this. Maybe beetles or maybe moth, wax moth larva or anything like this. So we pre-warm it and at the same time we disinfect it. Yeah, looks like this one is can remove. this one. This good frame, this honey, heavy, so it's all honey, but the problem is that we don't want too much room for the bees because they won't be able to warm it up anyway. So we'll move it somewhere on the side, but I'm surprised that many bees died. So I found some large quantity of bees here. I want to collect most of them. Yeah, this is viruses. Look at how many bees are here. So this perhaps 3,000 bees just in this hive. That's too much. So my estimate is that this hive has like 50% of surviving till good time, because when it's warm and nectar is flowing, the bees are naturally recovering. But in this case, the situation is not so good. If you wanna move. Yeah, this is still cold frame. So I'll keep an eye on these bees, but that's all I can do. Do it again. So the division boards, they will help to limit space. When there's less space, less draft, they will be able to keep better temperature inside. So, like, this is a good frame, but still lots of honey, but it's too far away from the bees, so just move it on the side. Okay, now here it's also good frame, but nothing. So I put this frame right here. I mean, this division board. So that's gonna give them, limit their space. And then here I also gonna do the same thing. So on this side, I'd like to remove one frame, maybe this one, to here. And then move these frames over here. And then this one has a little bit of liquefied honey, so you just leave it here just in case. And then we put a division board. So warm it up again because it got cold. And put it back here. Now the bees are over here, we can move them down a little bit. Use the smoke, right, so you drag them down. And then I have a fabric, this canvas that I'd like to use. So the canvas will go on top. This will limit the air draft. This piece of canvas. And then so this is all looking good. Lots of honey, but essentially they died, and they died because best guess is because of viruses. So we cover now. Now it's all covered. And then we're also gonna use this stuff here. Yeah, what I forgot also, that I actually make division boards. I have a special division boards in this hive, but I should have probably used those. See, this division board is longer. You can actually utilize it and move it closer. It's kind of second division board, maybe here. So that's another division board. And then we close it. Should be put it back. Now, this area, I want to do some insulation here because I don't want to have air draft. I have a bag of dried moss, so I just put it carefully here. Then later I will clean it up, but for now that should be sufficient. Just to insulate, reduce the draft. It's a natural insulation. Messy, but good. If anything gets inside, bees will clean it, but I used it before. That's probably the best insulation because it's all natural. Nice dry. By the way, moss is good for the smoker. And put it in a smoker too. So now this is all insulated. So the bees are here and that part is insulated. Now this part, it's okay to leave it like that, less critical. Okay, looks like it's done. What I can do also, just to prevent other bees coming and robbing this, I stuck this here. So it will close these entrances. Okay, I think it's good. Then we close this hive and let's hope that they will survive. Keep you updated on this. Good. Okay, showing again how much dead bees were in this hive. Like the whole colony died, so they have less bees survived than here, but the queen is alive. They have a chance. I put warm honey, I insulated them better, so maybe they will survive. Let's see.